Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Mrs. G. In this video, we are going to be looking at the CSEC Geography 2020 Paper 1. Let's get to it. Alright, so this is going to be part 1 of this 2020 paper. Please ensure that you subscribe to the channel so that you can see when part 2 has been released. I'm trying to go through the paper piece by piece to ensure that at the end of it, you understand every single concept. Also, for more geography information, you can follow me on Instagram at GeoWithMissG. And of course, Natken Educational Services on Instagram as well, where we will give you additional tips and tricks for all of your exams. So this will be like a conversation. So if there is anything that you do not understand, any sections of it where I may ask a question and you want to respond, please do so in the comment section. I will certainly respond to you. Also, if there's another section that you need clarification on or you want me to go through another part, mention it in the comment section as well so that we can make preparations for that. I want to ensure that you are ready before your exams come up this year. Yeah, and please don't forget to subscribe. You can do so right now. Subscribe and turn your post notifications on so you can see when we're doing a live stream, when we're going through map reading, when we're going through different human geography topics so that you can always be on point. Let's continue. Let us just get right into the paper. So the paper starts out with map work. You will notice as well that on your paper 1, you will have maybe about half of your paper 1, 20 something questions. Maybe about 28 questions will be skill questions. So there will be things that you need to calculate. So it may be graphs, it may be map work questions, things that require you to utilize the skills that you learned in geography. The other half of the paper would have been memory questions. Most of them would have been memory questions. So those would have been asking you topics like population, parts in human geography. That will be for the second part of the paper. That is how it is most of the time. That's how it has been. So since CSEC has advised that they are going to be making changes, they did not say that they're changing the structure. They did say that they are going to be changing the questions. So it is best that you know the content and not necessarily remember the questions. Understood? Items 1 to 4 refer to the following map of the Caribbean. Do you know the countries and their names and their locations? You will need to know them. They can easily pop up on your paper 2, asking you to identify. They usually include these right here, asking you to identify some of the islands. And that would be like 4 marks, 4 quick, easy marks that you can get. So you have to ensure that you know these, okay? So I would suggest that you get a little map like this and just try to study them. Use something to make up like the first letters of all of these islands, so you end up remembering exactly where they fall. So let us go down to the question now. So it says, which island is located at 14 degrees north, 61 degrees west? So 14 degrees north, 61 degrees west. These are our options: Trinidad, Barbados, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent. So what you would do then, you would find 14 degrees north. So the numbers 55, 60, 65. So the numbers are increasing in this direction. We know that 0 would have been at the center. So that means this side would have been what side of the map? Eastern or western side of the map? This would have been the west. All of this map is showing us the western section of the map. Because if we have our 0 line somewhere here, going all the way out to 55, 60, etc., we know that this would have been the western, and the other side would have the numbers increasing in that easterly direction. So we are looking for 14 degrees north. Notice again, the numbers are increasing this way, 10, 15, 20, and 25. So the numbers increase this way. It is suggesting that up here would have been north. If it was the southern hemisphere, the numbers would have been below 0 degrees, extending towards the southern region. Yes, St. Lucia is correct. St. Lucia, you can see that it is somewhere about here, which would have been your 14, and then here, which would have been your 61. So even though St. Vincent seems close, it is the 14 that would tell us that it is St. Lucia. Very good. Next question. Havana is located at, and it gives us the different coordinates. So let us find Havana. We can use elimination first of all. We already ascertained that on the map, we only have the western section. So this is out because it has it has 82 degrees east. And this is also out because it has 88 degrees east. So when you're doing your multiple choice questions, sometimes it is very easy for you to just look at the options that they give you, use the process of elimination, so it minimizes the amount of time that you spend on each question, right? So we are left with 28 degrees north, 88 degrees west, and 23 degrees north, 82 degrees west. And it is asking us to look specifically at Havana. Where is Havana located? We have found Havana, it's right here. Now we need to find the specific or the absolute location for Havana. So the options that we are left with, what was it again? 28 degrees north or 23 degrees north. Which one would you choose, 28 or 23? So we remember that we're increasing in a northerly direction. So 28 would have to be up here. So this must be 23. Very good. So it would have been easy for us to choose our answer. So our answer already, without even looking at the rest of it, would have been letter D. Which of the following cities is located approximately 1,000 kilometers from Montego Bay, Jamaica? So we have Havana, Belmopan, Port-au-Prince, Santo Domingo. First of all, how would we do this question? It is asking us about what? Distance. Good. How do we measure distance on a map? You use either your paper or your string, and you do your measurement based on that. So we have Havana. This is the distance between Havana and Montego Bay. Then we have Belmopan, Port-au-Prince, and Santo Domingo. Port-au-Prince is right here. Santo Domingo is here. So to do this, we can also eliminate because it is 1,000 kilometers. So look at the scale here, 0 to 1,000 kilometers. We can basically estimate since we are on a computer screen. So if you were to estimate, what would you choose as your answer? 1,000 kilometers from Montego Bay. That is Santo Domingo. Number 4, an airplane leaves Port of Spain, Trinidad for Kingston, Jamaica. In which general direction will it fly? When you're in the exam, you don't need to do all of this, all right? You can just look at your answers and guess. Make a knowledgeable guess based on the responses that they have given you, right? So let us do that first. Good. So I'm over this side. So that means it is my western side. But not only that, I'm also between these two because I'm going up. So it can't be southern either. So then, based on that, what are we eliminating? So we're eliminating the south and we are eliminating the east. We would have already found our answer. All right, next one. Items 5 to 9 refers to the following contour in meters. Sketch map, contour sketch map showing points X, W, Z, and area Y. Grid reference of point X is, so it is asking you to find the 6-figure grid reference. Question, how do you find 6-figure grid reference? Our 4-figure grid reference first. And we know that when we are writing up our 4-figure grid reference, which one comes first? Our eastings come first. Good. So our eastings would have been all of these because the numbers increase in an easterly direction. That is why we call them eastings, right? So these would have been our eastings. So based on that, we know that this starts from 29 and it goes to 37. So what do we need to eliminate? Good, because they start in 41. So they would have been starting with the northings instead. So now we have 2. We have 3, 4. And then the other section would have been 41. So both of them would give us our 4-figure real quickly. So how would we determine, instead of cutting up the whole box, wasting our time in the exam, how do we determine which one of these is the answer? Notice this is correct as well. We're seeing 3, 4, 5 on both ends. So the only difference is 0 and 5. So it is point X. So when you're doing a grid reference, basically you're drawing the capital letter L for your numbers. So this would have been your first line, which is 34. This is your other line going across, which is 41. So that's your 4-figure. And then you can easily figure out the rest, right? So our answer for this one would have been letter A. All right, bearing of X from W. How do we find bearing? So bearing of X from W, we identify our starting point. Where are we starting from? It says bearing of X from W. So from, the place that comes after from indicates where we are. So if I come from somewhere, technically it's like I'm standing at that place, right? So from W, that means W would have been my starting point. So W is where I am going to draw up my north-south line. So my starting point is W and I'm finding my bearing of X. So let us look at it. Starting point is W. So this is where I am. And I am finding the bearing of X. So X is up here. So just by looking at it alone, my answer is going to be between what numbers? This is north. What is the measurement? What is the bearing at north to start? So north is 0. Good. This is a right angle here. What would be the bearing at east? 180. So that means my line down here, because this would have been my angle that I have then, would have been 180. That is south. So we already know that anything below 180 would not have been my answer. You agree with me? So that means I'm taking out this and I'm taking out this. The answer needs to be between 270 and 360, just from where it is located, without even having a protractor. So this is 225. That means this would also be out because it would have been down where west is, right? So that means my answer is 315. Contour interval is, we have to look back at the map for that. Are we seeing the contour lines? 20. Number 7 would have been letter B. Number 8, which location is approximately 100 meters above sea level? Why? Good, because we are seeing it on the same contour line as 100. Good. Number 9, the landform shown at Y is a hill, a ridge, a valley, or a plateau. Hill, ridge, valley, or plateau. All right, our answer is hill, and we are going to take letter A. Number 10 to 12 refer to the following world map. The direction of the prime meridian from New Orleans is, first of all, what is the prime meridian? So our prime meridian is our main line of longitude. Why did I cross that? So lines of longitude run from where to where? What direction to what direction? North to south. Very good. So that means this line here would have been our prime meridian. So if this is our prime meridian, what is this? Very good. That would have been our equator. So the question asks, what is the direction of the prime meridian from New Orleans? New Orleans is my starting point, and we don't even need to draw it up, but you know, so that means that is my starting point. So what is the direction of the prime meridian then from New Orleans? So the prime meridian is over here. What's my answer? Yes, it is east. Very good. So this is the entire line. So the direction, it is pointing to the line here. So it is east. So our answer for number 10 would have been letter A. What if the question said St. Petersburg? What would have been your answer? Let's go to the next one. What time is it in New Orleans when it is 10 p.m. on Monday in St. Petersburg? So what time is it in New Orleans? Let me just... $10 p.m. Monday. And we want to find out the time here. Which lines do we use to calculate time? Latitude or longitude? Right, we use longitude to tell us time. The first rule is that 15 degrees equals 1 hour. So you notice you have degrees with the on each line of longitude. So 15 degrees will equal to 1 hour. Then towards the east, you add time. When you move towards the west, you subtract time. So let us pretend that this is the sun over here. This is our sun. Nice, big, bright sun. So the sun over here is shining on the globe. So as the earth rotates in this direction, it means as places get closer towards the sun, or as they turn towards the sun, which is in the eastern section, then they will add time. They will get more time. So it will become 1 hour later, 2 hours later, etc. As you move in this direction, the opposite direction over here, it would mean that these people have not gotten towards the sunlight as yet, so they would have been behind time. People over here towards the west, they would have not gotten to the sunlight yet, so each time you move towards the west, basically you are subtracting time. So those are some rules that we have so far. The other rule is that we have 15 degrees and we have 60 minutes in 1 hour. So then, for us to find out how many degrees equal how many minutes, we would need to divide. How many times can 15 go into 60? Yes, 4. Good. So that means, it means then that 1 degree equal 4 minutes. This is our other rule. 1 degree equal 4 minutes. So those are the things that we must keep in mind to remember time, to remember how to calculate time. Number 12, the shaded area on the map represents the tropics, Arctic zone, Mediterranean, or temperate zone. Which one do we use to determine climatic zones, latitude or longitude? So we already said from up here that longitude tells us time zones, but latitude tells us climatic zones. All right, try to remember that, okay? All right, so the shaded area, which is 30 degrees north and south of the equator, what is it showing us? The responses are tropics, Arctic zone, Mediterranean, or temperate zone. So the fact that Jamaica is somewhere here, so what kind of climate is Jamaica? Tropical. Good. So some of the times, you may be in the exam and you're not really 100% sure, but you can pull on your experiences from other things to figure out what the answer is gonna be. So these are the options. Arctic zone, super cold. You know it's not there. And you can identify Jamaica, which is a warm area. So you know that once Jamaica fall into that shaded area, it means that your answer would have been the tropics, okay? So what type of limestone or landform is labeled Y in the diagram below? Answer, yes, it is swallow hole. All right, number 14. Item 14 refers to the following diagram of a coastline. So which of the following features is not shown on the diagram? What is our answer? Which of the following features is not shown in the diagram? So we have the headland, we have the Bayhead Beach, and we said that we have the cliff. The cliff is another name for the headland. So this is still a cliff, this is still a cliff. So the one that we don't see, wave cut platform. Number 15. Items 15 to 16 refer to the following map of a weather station. What type of weather system is the southern part of Cuba experiencing at this time? This has a warm front. That is the weather system that is south of Cuba.